To South Sudan now, and the government there has agreed to the deployment of more regional troops. The development follows a summit of the 8 IGAD member states in Ethiopia. Such a force has been a key demand of former Vice President Riek Machar, who has since left Juba. But with these developments, he may soon return. His replacement, Taban Deng Gai, has reportedly agreed to step down for Machar if and when he returns to Juba. Meanwhile, heads of state from Uganda, Kenya, Rwanda, Sudan have all called on both parties to embrace the peace deal they signed last August and quickly resolve the crisis.
If and when Dr. Machar comes to Juba, and if the protection force is in place at that time, of course these are details that will be worked out, but I have no doubt that he's not going to feel insecure. The government of South Sudan accepted. I told you, I just came from a meeting.
With what sort of conditions? With no conditions?
Well, there's no condition. The condition is the heads of state of IGAD +5 directed the chiefs of defense forces of our member states to go to Juba and work with the government of South Sudan on what exactly the modalities of that force will be.
Well, let's bring you more now on these latest developments. CCTV's Patrick Oyet joins us on the line from Juba in South Sudan. Patrick, just really not long ago, the government of South Sudan was quite adamant that they would reject additional forces being sent into Juba. What has inspired the change of heart?
Yes, you are right. The government had actually rejected the foreign force deployment to Juba, but there could be a lot of reasons that led to the change of mind. One is, of course, what the Minister of Information of the government of South Sudan yesterday said upon arrival. He said that this is now protection, not intervention force. Their interpretation, that is the government of South Sudan's interpretation of the intervention force, was that intervention force would be a fighting force, whereas protection force is to provide security for some persons and team installations. Another reason that could have made them also change their mind and agree is the fact that the government will negotiate the mandate, armament, and from which country the force will come. And also, they feel that since they have the powers now to negotiate with the chiefs of defense forces from the region on the mandate, the armament, and so forth, that means the power is in their hands. Another thing that could have also made them change their mind is the fear of losing friends from the region, because South Sudan, since the crisis began in 2013, has actually somehow divided the region. There are some in the region who support Riek Machar, there are some who support Salva Kiir, and now the government maybe feels that if they continue standing firm on the position that the force from the region should not come, then they are risking losing all the friends around. And also, it should be noted that the IGAD summit of heads of state does not actually negotiate. It's not a forum where people negotiate. The negotiation is always done in the Council of Ministers of Foreign Affairs of the region. So I think this is the best deal they got from the Council of Ministers of Foreign Affairs. And also the fact that South Sudan now is looking like they could easily be isolated. The region is somehow providing a shield for them, because if in case they refuse everything that the region is proposing, then if the region pulls out, then maybe they will be vulnerable if, for example, the issues are taken to UN and so forth. So these, I think, are the reasons that made the government of South Sudan to change its mind and accept the deployment of the protection force.
Patrick Oyet live for us there on the line from Juba, South Sudan. Of course, on that foreign force coming into Juba as the government relents to the pressure to get that peace agreement back on track.